So for those that are new to me, hello. I'm about to be running an amazing channeling course in a few weeks' time, 12 weeks of how to channel yourself. And I've been channeling for a while, but mainly it's been behind closed doors and in groups and in training things. And I've been channeling in different ways, but this way of actually bringing through my star beings and my guides and asking questions directly to them is fairly new, but this seems to be the way that it wants to come out. So be gentle. Part of my mission in this last part of the year is to stretch myself. So that's what I'm doing. So while you all get settled, I am going to get myself prepared. We will be about an hour or so. And while I settle, I'm just settling my body in and just really feeling that channel between spirit and earth. And as I do, I feel and notice or call in this vortex that comes and it moves around me, really protecting the energy and raising that vibration so that I'm connected in with Mother Earth, I'm connected in with love, I'm connected in with this open vibrance. And then I connect in with my higher self because my higher self always has my best interests at heart. And I ask for my higher self to deliver to me and bring to me and connect to me now, my spirit team and the star beings and those that are here that will be most helpful and influential to answer the questions that are coming to us today. And as I welcome the energies in, I allow for my ego, my personality, my mind to just turn down a little bit as I dial up into this beautiful energy. And so when you are ready, Amy, I would love to know what you would love to know today.
Oh, thank you so much. I have a nice group of questions that have come from people who follow Melissa, who she's drawn to her. And the first one that I'd love to ask is Melissa has really drawn to her a very conscientious group of people who want to be on the right path in their lives and to be the highest service in the world. And they're just very curious about how we know we're on the right path and how do we know that we're fully using our gifts?
How do we know we are on the right path, and how do we know that we are fully using our gifts? This is a wonderful question because it shows that there is a level of consciousness and a level of altruism with the people that have asked this question. And we would love to reassure you that your path began on the day that you incarnated, or even before this, the day that we consider that you incarnated, which was the day that you began, the day in your terms, the way that you began to focus your energies into becoming a human form. At this point, the path that you decided or discovered or wanted to come and experience in this time, in this focus time, began, and there is no wrong path. However, humans have a significant challenge compared to many other of our races and experiences, because there is very much available to you in what you may call the 3D realm. The 3D realm, which is full of matter and full of experiences and full of what you may call, or what we may call, distractions, things that are taking you off your path. And you spend a lot of your time, especially as children, receiving programming and receiving understanding from those people around you. Now, all of this is indeed part of your path. This is not wrong for your path, and the programming that you received as a child from your parents or your caregivers or your DNA and your community and your collective was not wrong. In fact, this was all part of what was in a way designed by you as part of your path. However, it can be that you pay more attention or credence to the what we might say the victim aspect of this, the part of it that did wrong, the part of it that you are actually trying to break through from, than the true purpose of your life, which is to discover yourself and to discover your true self and to understand what it is that bring you joy. There are many philosophies in the human religions and texts and spiritual aspects that suggest that it is joy that you are here to discover, and it can feel very hard in a human body to experience that joy all the time. But this joy doesn't necessarily mean that you are constantly laughing or spinning around on a meadow. This can also mean that you are discovering this deep peace, or you are discovering unconditional love, or you are discovering an openness or something that gives you an emotion of freedom and of lightness in your body. And so as long as you have something in your experience, in your intention every day, in your goal, in your everyday habits and movements that are leading you towards joy, then you are following the path that you are meant to be following. Does that answer your question?
It does. And interestingly enough, the second question relates exactly to what you have just shared. Being human, we often feel our emotions very strongly. And we would love to understand our emotions and work with them, but sometimes they feel overwhelming and unwieldy. How do we effectively work with our emotions? And is this a key part of our human journey?
This is a key part of your human journey, because here in spirit, we do not have access to the same emotions as you do. There are specifically human emotions, which are the ones that you may categorize as fear, which you may understand as fear, shame, anger, despair, that are what you will experience as low frequency energies. They are, as you can hear in my voice now, as I begin to tune into those, is they are slower. They are not bad. They are slower than some of the spirit energies that we can experience from where we are, which are of love, which are of openness, which are even begin with this neutrality. Because in human form, fear is a very important emotion, because your part of your path is to continue this human journey. And so you have a body which has its functions and also has its fragility, which we do not have here, because here everything is permanent, everything just is. And so we have no need for fear or anger or despair or even desire, for everything that we desire can be should we want it. And so part of the human experience is to feel these emotions and to understand that we have these access to these emotions. And however, we understand that this may be triggering for some, because these feelings are certainly not pleasant, and they are not pleasant because they are not of spirit, they are not from the higher vibrations that we speak of. Yet part of the experience of being human is to understand and to allow and to, if you like, love these other emotions, to meet these other emotions with curiosity, with love, with openness, with non-judgment. Because here in spirit, which is where you are all part of, us here in spirit are not different to you. We are just existing on a different plane. And so when you go back to spirit, you will understand that these emotions all have their place and they all have their beauty, and that you humans seem to spend a lot of time running away from these emotions, which, should you face them and be open to them and love them and be in acceptance of what they are, and indeed even at times gratitude that you have the ability to be able to understand all the things that you are not. As you meet them with this emotion, you lift them and they transmute and they become love and back in spirit. Because if you understand that when you feel fear, this is your body telling you this is not right. When you feel anger, this is your body telling you this is not right. When you feel shame, this is your body telling you this is not right. And so we can use this emotion to begin to direct ourselves into what is right and use it as a guidance tool. The emotions are not wrong. And even though your path is to follow your joy and to find your joy, as we have just discovered, when you are feeling those emotions that you do not enjoy, it is not wrong. It is simply a remembrance of we can now turn and we can now make new choice. We can now make better choice. We can now connect back into love so that we can indeed become what we are and move through what we are not. Does this answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I think a lot of people on the spiritual path, humans, we are maybe brought to spiritual work, or people are brought to us because of these strong emotions. But it sounds like, and hoping to deal with these strong emotions, but it sounds like if we lean into them, experience them, learn from them, and maybe stop labeling them so strongly as good or bad, it could be beneficial. Would you say that that is part of it?
From where we stand, the emotions are not good nor bad. They are emotions. They are energy that is wanting to move. And the lower frequency energies are simply that lower frequency, which you might consider as slower moving. And so they are naturally, from the human perspective, going to be slower or not as easily move through the body, which gives the human an opportunity to meet it with a higher frequency energy so that it can move up and move through. Now, every lower frequency emotion that you have is in fact a road or a path to this enlightenment that so many of you are seeking. Yet it is when we find ourselves it's stuck or stopped or explaining or even more so resisting these emotions that we find ourselves getting stuck and lowering down. And so labeling them can be part of the awareness of labeling them as this is what I am feeling. This does not feel good. How can I make this feel better? How can I meet this with understanding? How can I meet this with love? How can I meet this with acceptance? How can I even meet this with gratitude? And as we do this, it changes and allows for that frequency to move up and to move through the body. And so, yes, you are correct that it is the labeling of this is bad and I must not experience this that can be a problem, because that is in fact the resistance and is in fact meeting that energy with shame, which is then dropping it down further than it needs to be. Whereas this does not feel good. I do not like this. How can I love this more? Or how can I love this part of me more that didn't know that it needed love at that point where I initially felt it, that can actually help this energy move up and through. And therefore you will be, if you like, vibrating at a higher frequency than you did before this emotion arrived in your field.
That is really, really helpful. And moving on to the next question, it's also related to our existence in humanity, and you spoke about this a little bit a week ago or so. But we would love for you to share more about the process of reincarnation, and also what we may experience during the time between our lives.
The reincarnation is something that is it is wildly misunderstood, in that the time that that all beings live in is non-existent. There is only time that is now, and so everything is experienced, if you like, at the same time. Now, the soul evolves in a way that, when you come to this earth school, the soul evolves in a way that is, if you like, quicker. It is like a supercharged version of what many of us experience through different experience in life, or even different incarnations, because this can happen. Now, the human, at some point during their soul's existence, then decides, yes, this is a field, this is an experience that I choose to have. And so then we place our focus, if you like, on human form. It is as if we, and I say we because I and many of the other beings that I connect to have had human lives in ways before. We bring our focus, and therefore the earth frequency pulls us down and pulls us through. And as it pulls us down and pulls us through, the experiences, or the memories of previous, in human terms, experiences, come back to life. Because on Earth School, part of the human experience is to experience time. It is part of the, for many of you, frustration of living on Earth. But in fact, it is a blessing for you to have this time, because it allows for this rapid growth to happen and to exist. And so you bring your focus into this time and into this place, and you have this experience on Earth that is then fed back into your oversoul or spirit, and increases the level of, I will use the word, consciousness in your being. And for many humans, you choose to do this over and over and over again. And we are seeing this more and more as the consciousness of Earth is, in fact, raising. Many more of you, especially those who are interested in channeling and in spirituality, are choosing to, you're choosing to come back here, so that there can be more growth for the whole planet. For everyone has a different role, and you will have experienced every role in every way. And so, yes, reincarnation occurs here on Earth so that you can increase your capacity to grow and understand, and, if you like, fuel or feed the sea that is source with more and more experiences. It is not a requirement to come to Earth. It is a choice. And for many of you, you are choosing to come again and again and again. And for some, you choose only once. And for some, this is your first incarnation on Earth. For some, this is the last incarnation on Earth. Yet time does not exist in the same way as you might know it. So what we wish to say to you is, enjoy your time here, because you chose it. And we know it is hard, which is why we don't always choose to choose it all of the time. But you chose to be here now. And so enjoy the experience and the myriad of emotions and beauty that this earth holds for you.
Well, it certainly is an amazing experience to be a human on Earth and experience this duality and time and the things that you're speaking of that we don't have when we're existing purely in spirit. Um, and when you're talking about thinking about us moving into realizing who we truly are, it sounds like maybe as humans, we can experience this duality also with the knowledge of our oneness with all things. Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yes. What you truly are in essence is light. What you truly are in essence is awareness. What you truly are in essence is what you may know as love, source, universe, all that is, everything, nothing, all, one. This is the truth. However, as you incarnate in human form, you experience the separation that is necessary to understand yourself as a particular form of expression. Your path is indeed to find this oneness of truth, and many of you touch this in moments of awe and of beauty. Many of you experience this through some of your spiritual work, but sometimes in the moments of pure unconditional love, of time with pets and with children or with nature, or listening to a beautiful song, that you experience this understanding that you are pure awareness. And when you are pure awareness, all of the heaviness, all of the fears, all of the doubts, all of the things that seem to matter so much of being a human lift, because you understand that in the grand scheme of things, everything is just awareness. This is part of your path. And as we go back to what we said at the beginning of this conversation, that your duty, your job, your path is to find your joy. And why? Because when you are in your joy, when you experience yourself in your flow, when you find yourself in the zone, as you often say, that you are in this oneness and that you are in this awareness. And this is the root to this oneness and this root to this awareness of not being in fear, of not being in other, and of not being in anger, of not being in despair, and of indeed experiencing those, but moving back towards this oneness. It is no coincidence that the path to this oneness is through your joy. And the path to your joy is your path to take. And the purpose that you ask us about is through your joy. And so we hope this gives you a clue that you are here to experience joy, and that will take you back to the oneness that also many of you seek. Does this answer your question?
Yes, I love what you're saying about joy illuminating our path, and what a beautiful roadmap for us to follow. Um, Another question that was coming up about our lifetimes that we have. Before we incarnate, do we choose our lifetime? Do we make a decision saying, okay, I'm going to have certain experiences during this life or certain lessons that I want to learn while incarnated?
When you choose to incarnate, you place your whole focus of your soul into a specific chosen incarnation. You specifically choose the circumstances to which you will be born, and the certain traits that bring you joy. Now, for many humans, you know that the plight to the feeling of having worked for something, the feeling of having achieved something, the feeling of having to move through something gives you a sense of satisfaction, a sense of growth, a sense of pride, but I'd speak about good pride, not pride filled with envy. And this is good, this is helpful, this is driving you forward and allowing for momentum to be created. May you repeat the question, please?
Yes. Before we incarnate, in the time, even though it's not exactly time as we see it as humans, between lives, does our soul and others who help us, do we create a plan or an outline for our human experiences in our next incarnation before we're born?
It is not so much that it is a plan, it is more that it is a path to awareness, and you hold within you, like an acorn holds the coding for an oak tree. You hold the coding to become the oak tree, to become the person, to become, if you like, this self-actualized person, which is the path to joy and to oneness. And so you, if you like, choose the challenges, you know where you are going to be born and with whom you are going to be born with. Is every moment pre-planned? No, because it is your co-creation, it is your imagination, it is your intention, and it is your rediscovery of joy that is indeed bringing you into this path of actualization. And so, is everything pre-planned? No. Do you choose your life? Yes. Now, this internal navigation system that you have can be addressed or activated by your sensation, by your feeling, and by indeed those things that give you joy. And we spoke of the human feelings. Some of these have been pre let's say programmed into you, so that they are things that you are moving away from or coming into acceptance of, as we spoke before when we spoke about emotions. And so, are the exact circumstances preordained? No. Are the challenges that one faces as a human pre-planned? In many ways, yes, not in the detail that you may discover, yet in the path is to find the joy and to find that acceptance, so that you find this sense of enlightenment whilst you are still here in the physical body. And so those things that you have decided to move through, to transmute, to release, to understand, to show compassion, to show understanding, are all available to you as a human. And then your choice on your path is you get stuck in that or you move through that. Does this answer the question?
It does. I think that was really, really clear. Thank you so much. Some of us would love to hear about your perspective on other planetary beings and their significance to us. And if we are star seeds here on Earth, incarnated on Earth, how might that influence our human incarnation?
Many of you are star seeds. Most Earth beings have come from, have experienced life on different, what you would call planes, or you may know as planets. In truth, they are more dimensions, realms, frequencies. And for some of you, as I explained, that time is not as human knows. For some of you, in the multidimensional ways that you are currently incarnated, having experiences on other planets. And so you feel that draw, that resonance, that even remembrance of being apart from Earth, being part of something else. And so naturally, that is influencing you and affecting you. Now, from this point of view of spirit and the point of view from where we are, every realm, frequency, reality is important. And indeed, we all work together. And so there is significance of what happens on Earth, and there is significance on what happens in other realms and planets and systems and galaxies, for they all form part of what we know to be the sea of consciousness. And so some of you more sensitive beings may remember or connect to or long even for this space, which for some of you has been easier, for some of you has been more familiar, for some of you has been, there are connections that you have through other life forms and through other relationships that you have cultivated, which all form the draw. Now, the truth is that you are all helping each other, and some of you humans, when you sleep, you are helping the other life forms in other realms and realities, and the other way round. Now, the difference is with Earth is everything is of equal importance, yet on Earth the school is harder. In many of these realities, we remember who we are truly, whereas the main plight of Earth is remember who you truly are. And so when we are in these other realms and star forms, send you signals, and we come through in channels such as this one to remind you and to activate you as you listen to these words, to resonate in you, to activate within you the truth of remembering. And so we are not separate, we are all part of the same. And we love you unconditionally, for your plight is our plight and our plight is yours.
Well, thank you. That gives a very, I think, as with the human mind, it can be difficult to grasp the concept of oneness, but I think that the way that you're able to express that to us is very valuable.
It's part of this channeling, and this form that we come through now is a remembrance of this multidimensional. Before, I know that our host often wonders who we are and where we come from. And the truth is that we are not really truly separate from her. We form part of her higher self team and part of these other realities of who she has incarnated in other dimensions, forms, and what you may call time. And so this is very hard for the human brain, who is very involved in matter and in time and in linear progression. Yet from where we are, it is known, it simply is. And so it is when these energies blend, and not just through channeling such as this, but also through when you are at night staring at the at the stars, or when you are in the sunshine and you feel the codes moving into you, and when you have your feet on the earth and you are connecting in with the planet that you currently call home, that you have these moments of just awareness. And in those moments of just awareness, this multi-dimensional part of you is more fully expressed. For humans, it is often easier to feel this with other humans when you are with somebody and you feel their sadness when you have been okay, and then suddenly you feel sad, or you are at one of your shows and there is somebody making you laugh, and you all have this collective frequency of joy and laughter, that you all feel better at the end of it. And so you experience this all of the time. You experience empathy. This is a part of your multidimensional nature. This is you and them connecting. And so when we think of it like this, and when we think of the love that we have for other humans, and more perhaps significantly in many ways through your pets, your animals, and the animal kingdom, that you begin to understand that you are not just a being that is separate from everything, as your human suit and your brain and your internal emotions may lead you into believing.
Yes, and that speaks to another question that came up. And one of the things that was asked was, sometimes when we are channeling, we can feel different energies, perhaps speak differently depending on who is coming through. Sometimes there's one or more. They can be galactic or earthly or fae. And the question was just really, how is that possible? And are we just really experiencing these different channels, or are they just all manifestations of the one?
Well, of course, we are only one. There is only one, and there only one exists. Yet this one exists in different, if you like, fractals. If you look at the sun and you see this big ball of fire, and then you squint and you see the rays, the beams, the lights, they are all they seem all separate. Just like every human that has come on to the earth all has their unique set of experiences and emotional makeup and chemistry and outlooks on life. And so true is the same with spirit, that each human has a frequency, each human has a makeup, both physically and energetically, that is more naturally inclined to receive or magnetize particular energetics. For some, when they connect in with their team or their channel, it is one particular dominant energy. And that is not because they are only available to connect in with one particular energy, but because perhaps this is the one that is most aligned to them, or this is the one that in that moment is most helpful to them or to the plight that they are currently journeying upon. Yet when the intention and the openness is there, then the spirit, the channel, can be filtered through these different personalities, expressions, past experiences. And this is all part of the journey for those who wish to. One is not better or best. And for
Yeah.
some,
Oh, sorry.
this could be that you are more inclined to reach the star beings. For some, you may be more inclined to reach, as you said, the fae and the earth energies and the earth mm, bodies. For some, this may be that your form of channeling is to the animal kingdom or to the plant kingdom or to the ascended masters or to the angelics or to source or to simply your highest self. And we say that this is all open and available to you. Your intent, your focus, your allowance, your openness, and your acceptance of these energies are all going to make up what is possible for you. And you can make the choice, and you can also allow to see what is going on. We will advise those of you who are interested in understanding this more is to connect with your own spirit team, to learn your own spirit team, to connect in with your higher self and to understand what they are made up of. For some of you will have the majority of your team, your guides, your ancestry that are more star in nature. Some may have which are more earthly in nature. Some may have which are more angelic in nature, and some may have more of a blend. This will give you more of a understanding and grounding into what is possible and available for you, especially at this time.
Yes, that is so useful, and just explains how when we do connect, and that it's going to make sense to us because it's drawing to our energy, our intentions, and our path to joy. And so I think that is just really exciting and wonderful. Maybe just one more question, and this one is, how do we recognize the difference between the struggle of almost reaching a goal, just struggling, trying to reach a goal? Is it just the struggle, or is that outcome not the best outcome? Sometimes as humans, we have trouble discerning that.
The question comes with whether this goal is your goal or whether this goal has come because of what you think it should be or could be or might be, or whether this goal or this intention or this future version of you is actually going to bring you the joy that you are seeking. The path is the path is the path, and it comes back to whether or not it is ultimately feeding your soul and feeding your expanding your consciousness in the world, in this life. For, as we explained earlier when we were speaking about the path, many of many humans get lost in the programming and stay there without seeking to understand what is truly. There is so much repression and so much avoidance and so much resistance to tuning into the whole myriad of experiences and emotions that we can experience here as humans, that the guidance system can become altered. And so then we are left wondering, is this right for me? The only question that should be asked is this bringing me more joy, more compassion, more awareness, more peace, more love? Any of those, if it is leading you into this, then yes. And even if the journey itself is leading you into that, then yes, this is your journey. But should you choose to turn around and to not complete, the journey has not been wasted if the journey has given you one of those peace and joy and love and understanding and compassion. We implore you to look at what the habits are in every day, the minute things that you work with. So for example, the things that you eat, the way that you move your body, the flowers and the plant life and the physical objects that you have around you, start there. Do these give me joy? Do I enjoy having them around? How do they make me feel? Really begin to understand what is mine and what is just because of, well, this is a family heirloom and so I must keep it. And we are not just talking about objects being family heirlooms. We are also talking about experiences and illnesses and beliefs and values and all of these things that we just seem to take and be as they are, as truth, as, well, this is just me. This is not just you. You are awareness. You are pure love and source and light. And your job here is to know yourself. And so you use this to know yourself. Is this me? Is this bringing me joy? If the answer is yes, you continue. If the answer is no, you can begin to discover why. Why did I come so far on this journey? Why do I feel that I cannot achieve this or continue with this, or this is not for me? Because this may be a program that is hidden in your energy field, that is seems easier because it is an avoidance of the more difficult of emotions that you may experience. We tell you that you meet that with love, then you will be able to move through those experiences. And so we say once again, there is no wrong path. Your path is to know who you truly are through any endeavor that you take.
That's, I think, one of our themes is that joy is the illumination of our path, and as you were just speaking, it can be our filtering system to help us as humans realize what is truly ours and what maybe we picked up along the way.
Yes. As
Is
we
there
sit here, we are reminded by Mother Earth, who seems in this moment to be almost clinging to our host's feet, to remind you that Mother Earth is always here and always has an answer, and that you do not always need to escape or look up or think that, okay, and or think that, believe that there is something else that knows better than you, that you can and will and would enjoy connecting in with Mother Earth and coming in through your body. Your body is your greatest connector in with Mother Earth, for she holds so much wisdom for every single human on this planet. And so she is here reminding our host and all of you that Mother Earth wishes to be connected with in more awareness.
Thank you so much, Mother Earth, for supporting us. As we come to a close today, is there anything else that you would like to share before we conclude?
We requested that this conversation take place, particularly with you, Amy, and we um, um, have gratitude for you coming and showing, and we would love to take this opportunity to remind you of your light and of your expression, and that your expression opens up into the star. It is like we often see you like a flashlight from up here, and we wish to encourage you to keep turning up that brightness. Mother Earth is still here and reminding of that it is like she is the holder of this vessel for you to be able to shine this light. And we would love to explain to you now that your frequency reaches very far into many of what you know as the star realms. And we'd like to thank you for your continued dedication and well wishes to us.
Well, thank you so much. I'm just have the most wonderful feeling right now. So thank you so much. As we conclude this, we thank you and we look forward to meeting with you again.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, oh,
Welcome back. Wow, Melissa.
I feel good. I feel good. Oh, it's so weird because it's so hot in here. And the whole, however long we've been doing this, I did not feel hot at all. And now I'm boiling. Any observations, questions from you, Amy, or anyone that's been watching?
Well, I just love that. And everything that you channeled was so clear. And it was just a real experience for me just to be in the presence with you while you're channeling your guide. I know that just at the end of your last channeling, there were just questions about how do you feel in your body, and then after you complete your channeling, how are you feeling, and how are you going to come ground down this evening, and how does that go for you?
Okay, so first of all, I don't usually channel for this long. And so this is doing it this way is a pretty new experience for me. And so because of that, I need to be more mindful of my physical body, because right now I'm like, I feel like woo, which is different to last time where I was a bit more like, what's going on? And so I've got like this earth spray. When I came out of it, actually, I've got some Palo Santo here with a candle lit. And I just felt called to light it. Just the smell just helps to bring me back. It's super grounding, it's really protective. I've also got some essential oils here that I selected before. So it's really coming back into my sensory body, because that is like that's the earth experience, right? The essential oils are through plants. Like this is made from water and crystals and color. This is the earth element grounding Archangel Metatron spray by Amanda Ellis. And then I will go for a walk. I've not had my dinner. I normally eat by 6 o'clock, but I've not eaten yet, so I might eat something light. I will drink all my water. And then also I think it's important to reflect. Like now I'm more sensitive. So what I won't do is go and sit and watch, you know, the thing on TV. I won't just sit and scroll mindlessly on my phone, because I'm going to be absorbing something. So maybe after I've eaten, I've just seen my kids have come home. I'll go play with them for a bit, because that's a nice energy, isn't it? And then I might listen to some other channel or do some of my self-inquiry work.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Well, I think that's all I have. And is if unless anybody has any questions, I don't see anything popping up on the
Okay.
Facebook right now. So I think it's a great time to wind up.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, do give it a share. If you're watching this on YouTube, appreciate your likes and your subscribes, and just pop your comments in here. And if you have any questions, pop them on, because then I'm planning on doing, like, I think we're going to keep doing this. And if you want to be the interviewer, let me know. Like, reach out. We'll see what happens. But thank you, Amy, for coming and, yeah, so beautifully asking those questions.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.